superpowers just haven't waiting day after day. While the poor man suffering, you sit down in conquest negotiating. While hunger and violence in the world still existing, we have a havoc and pure frustration eating our souls, screaming to unite that nation to save the world from this madness. 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 He faces the earth. The violence in South Africa, it's affecting the whole world all over with its madness. Madness. The refugees up in Bosnia, a sign of madness all over. I say madness. It seems so sad, like the whole world is going mad. Mad. Real mad.
Get along, get along.
Bam 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 bada bada bam bada bada. We go to bed at night not thinking about our fellow man or about the brutal slaying in Afghanistan. While they ask for ceasefire, you're destroying roads and bridges all over, leaving so many thousand children of war. What disaster! This misery, hunger and agony, tearing their young souls, screaming to United Nations to save the world from this madness. 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 The violence in South Africa, it's affecting the whole world all over with its madness. Madness. The refugees up in Bosnia, a sign of madness all over. I say madness. It seems so sad, like the whole world is going mad. Mad. Real mad.
Get along, get along.
War is senseless and chaotic, affecting young and old. So many hearts just keep on breaking, it's out of control. While they shoot out journalists, you can't sit down here and just accept this. And we need humanitarian aid. It's our business. Humanitarian organizations all around the world, get up now and take some action and save some souls from this madness. 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 Affecting the earth. The violence in South Africa, it's affecting the whole world all over with it. Madness. Madness. The refugees up in Bosnia, a sign of madness all over. I say madness. It seems so sad, like the whole world is going mad. Mad. Real mad. tried with diplomatic procedures to save Somalia. Take away the hunger and fear, sending medical care while they mourn their loss and keep watching their country disintegrating. Looters with arms only stopping food distributing. Call on Security Council, protect them without fear. Moving now and show these people that someone cares about this madness. 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 Affecting the earth. The violence in South Africa, it's affecting the whole world all over. It's madness. Madness. The refugees up in Bosnia, a sign of madness all over. I say madness. It seems so sad, like the whole world is going mad. Mad. Real mad.
Yes, sounds of the man controller. And that one is called madness. Enough madness is taking place around the globe. Also here in our beloved Federation, a lot of things is happening. I'm DJ Marisha and I'm coming to you live and direct from my bunker here in the Republic of St. Paul, St. Kitts. Yes, you heard it right. The DJ is still here in the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. And we're going to be having a continuation of our podcast last week. But for those of you who might be just scrolling the web and bump into us and don't know what this podcast is all about, let's take a quick listen to this ad.
Wednesday evenings are heating up. Log on to DJ Marishall's Facebook Live broadcast every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. It's a frank and candid exploration into the social, cultural, political, and economic issues affecting our federation. And just in case you missed it, you can also catch the broadcast on his YouTube channel, DJ Marishaw. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and smash that bell. You will be notified whenever he goes live. DJ Marishaw, every Wednesday evening. Facebook 6 to 8 p.m. or thereafter on his YouTube channel DJ Marishaw. Log on.
Yes, you heard it right. DJ Marishaw is each and every Wednesday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. local time here in our beloved Federation. And we're going to be kicking off the conversation shortly, but before we do that, let's take a quick run across to our sister island, Nevis, and hear what my boy Carbo have to tell us this evening.
Cabos, located at Fountain Village in Nevis, is the go-to spot for your Saturday treats. Tantalize your taste buds with his delectable Cabos Delicacy Goat Water. Or, if you prefer some soul food, then Cabos Punji and Fish is definitely the way to go. Call ahead and reserve at 869-663-9694. Then make your way over to Cabos and enjoy the vibrant atmosphere while you savor your delicacy. Cabos, we are not changing, we are only improving.
Food all over, food all over. You got the food all over.
Yes, you heard it right, but Carbo have the food all over Nevis, and not only Nevis, he now expand to the Federation. So for those of you who might be having your special occasion and want to get a taste of Carbo's delight, feel free to reach out to Brother Carbo, let him know DJ Marisha sent you, and I can assure you, Brother Carbo will take care of you in style and fashion. Now let's take a quick listen to my girl sister Carmen of Carmen Caterers.
Girl Sandra, you know where you can find nice fresh local food 7 days a week, one provision and all kind of thing. Girl, where? Right down there by Shellings, by Carmen Catering Services. Girl, she opposite the bus stop. Girl, and she also cater for weddings, parties, anything you want to cater for, funeral and all. Girl, and trust me, you're gonna enjoy the food. And she also selling bites and Sundays. Opposite the car shop, right down the main road. Girl, you could call 665-1494 or 663-6005 to order your food or go and pick up your food. Girl, the food will be finger licking and you get your money worth. You ain't want nothing better than that.
That I can assure you. Sister Carmen had some lovely mashed green banana today with some cheese. Coating it there, some lovely curry barbecue, ribs, pork, some lovely curry wings, she fish and thing there. Lovely, lovely menu she had today. So feel free to check Carmen each and every day, Monday to Saturday, down there, Shirley, opposite the West Ferry Terminal, downtown Bastille from midday until about 5 p.m. Sometimes she run a bit late. I guess when she doing she nasty things at nights. She run a bit late, but hang in there and support Sister Carmen. You can find her on Sundays there in the bus stop there in Boys Village, just opposite the Agara shop. And just let Carmen or DJ Marisha sent you. And, you know, we're going to make a quick stop back over in the island of Nevis again. Let's see what my boy there, Brother Daniel, have to say about his tragedies.
Welcome to Strategies for Business Success, right here on 2020visionradio.com and on 102.1 FM with business development advocate Daniel Arthurton. Each week, Danny will build on a foundation to ensure your success in business. Being in business can be daunting, and Strategies for Business Success can help you avoid the pitfalls. Join Danny right here on 2020visionradio.com, on 102.1 FM, and on your other social media platforms every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. That's right, Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. The time and place for your business dreams to come true.
Yes, that's Brother Danny that the Hydro Farm. Big up the man, Brother Danny. The man Banky there as well. And Nevis, the man Mackie Truss, my boy there, Brother Mikey Slack. Hope you guys are doing well there. And Nevis, Sister Loretta there at the Cultural Bar under the mango tree. My good girl there. Now let's take a quick listen to what my boy, Brother Malvern Gums, have to say there of the Spectrum Band, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're listening to DJ Marisha, playing you the best in Caribbean music.
You got that.
Hey, this is Malvern from Spectrum Band, and you're locked into DJ Marisha. Keep it locked.
Right there, you don't move that dial, because DJ Marisha is here, and DJ Marisha have his special liquid here. I want to thank the good folks there at the Island Purified Water, Main Street, Newton Ground, St. Kitts. That's the good water people. Thanking the man, Brother Powell, and his team for keeping the DJ hydrated when he's in the Federation. So, Brother Powell, keep up the good work. And remember, my good people, support businesses that support you. But before we get into the drive, let's take a quick listen to my boy, Brother G.A. Dwyer Astafan, bringing his commentary for today, Wednesday, 30th April 2025, final day of the month. We started off April on a bang, and we're going to finish in the same fashion. Stand by.
Greetings. Schedule 2 of the Constitution of St. Kitts and Nevis requires that the 11 constituencies in the country, 8 in St. Kitts, 3 in Nevis, shall contain nearly as equal numbers of inhabitants as is reasonably practicable. Now, the number of inhabitants usually correlates with the number of registered voters. And the purpose of this provision in the Constitution is to ensure that each vote in any constituency is pretty much equal in value to any vote in any other constituency. And of course, this is more likely to be achieved if the number of registered voters in each constituency is close as possible to the number of registered voters in every other constituency. These are things which give the individual vote its true value and which give the election validity. In the general elections of 2022, there were about 6,366 registered voters in constituency number 1, 5,735 in constituency number 2, 4,429 in number 3, 3,579 in number 4, 3,263 in number 5 Sandy Point, the smallest constituency in St. Kitts, 3,467 in number 6, 3,856 in number 7, 7,360 in number 8, 6,669 in number 9, which is in Nevis, 1,845 in Nevis 10. Yes, 1,845 only, and 4,404 registered voters in number 11. Based on these numbers, consider this. Constituency 1 has 86% of the number of registered voters in number 8. That's not too bad. Constituency 2 has 80% of the number of registered voters in number 8. That's not quite as good as number 1, but not too bad. But then it starts to get bad. Constituency 3 has only 60% of the number of registered voters that there are in number 8. Constituency 4, 49%. Constituency 5, 44%. Constituency 6, 47%. Constituency 7, 52%. Constituency number 9, 91%. So that is good. That is high. It is close to number 8. Constituency 10, 25% of the number of registered voters in number 8. Which means that a vote in number 10 is plenty more valuable than a vote in number 8. And that is exactly what the Constitution does not want to happen. And constituency 11 has 60% of the number of registered voters in number 8. So with a few exceptions, the numbers are way too far from being close to each other. And so the boundaries need to be reset. Or you may say the number of constituencies can be increased. But I don't support that argument. Not under our present constitutional arrangements. By the way, we can only imagine in horror how those numbers could be much crazier if the tens of thousands of CBI citizens were allowed to register and vote. That would be the end of our civilization. And as you think of that, think of the two former prime ministers, Douglas and Harris, who were the prime architects of this terrible situation which we face with regard to CBI and the potential social and cultural disruption that we face. Constituency boundaries were last changed in 1984 when the then PAM NRP administration removed Newton Ground from number 5. They changed up the numbers, made a change in Lodge, and that helped them win number 5 and number 7. For the past 41 years, no boundary changes. You just heard me list the registered voter numbers in each of the constituencies. You heard the big gaps in numbers between them. Nothing has been done for 41 years. No administration, no parliament, no political party has shown the singular maturity, responsibility, respect for the Constitution, and appetite for fair elections. I can say that confidently because 41 years have passed and no boundary changes have been made. And now it is very possible, maybe even probable, that the next general elections will be contested on those same 1984 boundaries. That would be a shame. Why haven't we fixed the boundaries? Why isn't the present administration pressing enthusiastically and determinedly to reset the boundaries? Let's have a fair and proper election. Who wins, wins. It is time for us to grow up and stop playing these silly, selfish games. As I said, whoever wins, wins. And whether we back the winners or not, we the people must keep a close eye on them, those who are in and those who want to be in. That is what democracy is all about. It's about people being alert, aware, and vigilant at all times. It's not good. I'm sick of the crap that politicians do, but I'm even sicker of the crap that we, the citizens, allow the politicians to do and get away with. I'm also sick of the fact that so many of us compromise, corrupt, and diminish ourselves. I am sick of the fact that we are so easily intimidated. Sick of the fact that we do not think for ourselves, stand up for ourselves, and express our consciences and stand up for each other as well, rather than always against each other at each other's throats. Divided we fall, and we are falling. And I am sick of the foolishness that passes for public debate, inside and outside of the parliament. We have become a nation of corrupt, compromised, cussers, and cowards, with the greatest of respect. And I don't say this with any joy, because I'm a citizen of this country. Now let me share some thoughts about elections. We have to stop treating elections as fete and freeness time. The fete and freeness are paid for by somebody, you know. And after the election, that somebody wants a return on his or her investment. They don't give much of a damn about you. You get the nice t-shirt, the free food and drink, maybe a fridge, maybe a rental car to drive, all of the paraphernalia, maybe some cash, a free concert, the promise of a house and a piece of land. And we swallow the bait. Not enough of us are focused on the tough and deep issues which we all have to confront. Better education, better health services, better infrastructure, a better attitude and work ethic, all of us. Greater citizen responsibility, fighting against corruption, whether it is within ourselves or on the street or in business places or in social institutions or in public office. Fighting for good governance, whether it's a football club, a domino team, a cooperative, whatever. Good governance. We need to be fighting for climate resiliency, but we need to understand the issues. Water safety, energy safety, food security. A lot of us have become so selfish and cold-blooded that we don't care about these things. And cynical too. If you get something at election, you take it. If you get one, if you get it, get it. If you get two, get it. Who win, I don't care. But you suffer just like the rest of us. Some have just given up on elections and politics. They've lost hope and they don't care anymore. That's not a way to live. You can understand it. You don't agree with it, but you can understand it. You must create an environment that will encourage and inspire and energize us to be better. Too many of us are not seeing elections as a time for reflection, fete, as I said, and freeness. A time for serious discussion about today and tomorrow, about our mommies and daddies, about ourselves, our children, and generations to come. We do not carefully examine the issues. We do not carefully examine the candidates, their character. We don't have thoughtful and constructive discussion. We cuss, we point fingers. But sober, constructive discussion is not sexy and is not entertaining. And we want to be entertained. And after the ballots are counted and the entertainment is over, we stroops with teeth for 5 years. We can't continue like that. How much longer are we going to allow ourselves to be taken for our ride? And let me tell you, again, the big deal in elections is not the agreement between the politician and you, you know. It's between the politician and the man or the woman who is putting up the money for the election, because he or she has to get back his or her pound of flesh. We go to the wedding, that's the election, but we're neither groom nor bride. We might get a little crumb of the cake, but the bulk of the cake. You might get the back and neck, but somebody else gonna get the breast. You may get the pig foot, but somebody gonna get the tenderloin. Now look at this. The deal is between the big money and political organizations. The big money have to get back theirs, what they give. Not only they have to get back theirs, but a lot of the big money doesn't pay proper income tax, doesn't pay proper this, doesn't pay proper that, and that causes the government to collect less revenue than it should collect. So when John James and Mary Jones, who have a piece of land for 12 years, but can't get the road put in for them to build and move into their house, it's the money that the big shot, who is not paying the government, that could be used for you to get your road, that is not available to you. And that tells you that the dance is between the big shot and the political parties. The wedding is between them, not you. You just go to witness it. And the big shots are in the CBI as well. This is pathetic and shameful. And the corruption is worsened by the fact that overseas voting is allowed. I am not trying to take away anybody's franchise. But in order for people to come in to vote, and most of them do not pay out of their pockets, somebody has to pay for them, to pay for the charter or the seat on American Airlines. Charters cost $300,000, $400,000 US dollars. Where's the big money? We've been talking about big money for a long time. You all know where the big money is. And if we continue to allow overseas voting, people to come from overseas to vote, there will continue to be that demand for that big money to fly them home. And that opens the door wider and wider to more and more corruption. And the more corruption there is, the more suffering you endure as a so-called ordinary poor man or woman. But things can change if we only change the election atmosphere for not jump up and craziness to serious, thoughtful reflection, debate and discussion. Because we're choosing a group of people to lead and guide the country into the future. And presently, the world is extremely difficult, and there are no signs of it easing up in the next 5 to 10 years. This is the most serious thing we can do, and we're very flippant and frivolous about it. Shame on us. Shame on us. We have been used and lied to, and some of us seem to like it so. And I want to end by suggesting to start a conversation, a new approach to government and to governance, a few changes. There are many, many things that need to be fixed, many, many things that need to be discussed. But I just want to end today's commentary floating a few ideas of my own. And if we busy ourselves discussing these serious things, not that we mustn't have fun, of course, but we must engage in things that are meaningful to us. Don't leave it up to somebody to reap success for us. If you want a mango, you can't call the mango off the tree. You have to go and pick it. That's life. So here are some of my suggestions, just a few. 1, change the electoral system. So we vote for a prime minister. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people could run for prime minister. The winner is the prime minister. He or she can appoint his or her cabinet from among unelected citizens in the country or of the country, but in the diaspora, just like they do in the United States. Of course, standards must be established to ensure that only capable and reputable citizens are eligible to be ministers. And you set a maximum number for the cabinet. So we have an election for the prime minister. But we also have an election for parliament. And we vote for the members of parliament separately. They're not going to be in any cabinet. They're going to be in parliament, in the legislature, representing the people in the parliament. The person running for prime minister or for parliament does not have to belong to a political party. And parliamentary elections can be by constituency or just have an open field with all of the constituencies and people vote. And the top 11 people become the members of parliament. Those who got the top votes. Number 3, division politicians cannot be MPs in Nevis and still MPs in St. Kitts. And they cannot be members of cabinet in Nevis and still be members of cabinet in St. Kitts. As I said, these are just a few of the many suggestions. These are just a few of the many critically important things we should be talking about, other than the foolishness that has overtaken us on social media, on the street corners, and all kind of stuff like that. We're not productively engaged. so it will be treated accordingly. Easy to please, easy to fool. Let us get engaged in discussing constitutional matters, and I invite lawyers and other persons who have an interest and some knowledge of these things to broaden the base and deepen the level of conversation on constitutional and other public issue matters. We need to change not just the boundaries. The Constitution needs to change. The governance culture, the general culture, our attitudes need to change. And we need to change them through proper discussion, thoughtfulness, learning from each other, lifting each other. Let us who live and walk this land today chart the course for a strong and honorable tomorrow in St. Kitts Nevis and the region, and for the next 100 years. Or alternatively, let's continue this foolishness. Let's see what we're going to do.
Yes, my good people, that is the commentary for Brother Dwyer Astafan today, Wednesday, 30th April 2025. Very powerful commentary, I must say, and I am in support of the majority of what Dwyer spoke about there. Now, my good people, life has a funny way of bringing us 360. I'm pretty sure for those of you who have been following this podcast for the past couple of years, recently as 2022 elections where we saw the new Labour administration led by Dr. Joe in place. One of our major concern and campaign promise was about the electoral reform, electoral offices in St. Kitts and Nevis to be addressed forthwith. Now, we're already over the midterm. We're heading into 3 years of a new Labour administration. And to date, I cannot confirm anything has been done with the electoral office. I used to reach out to the Attorney General, Brother Garth Wilkin, on a regular basis to try and push them to get this electoral office in place since we campaign on that promise. And the last conversation I had with Brother Garth is that they already put the committee in place. They're just waiting for God knows what. But to date, I cannot find Mr. Wilkin. He is either somewhere in the cloud, refused to take my call, refused to respond to my messages. You guys would know that I would have said that after the election of August 5th, 2022, I was going to give the new Labour administration 2 years to get their act together. I would have sat back and do my observation for 2 years. But after that 2 years, the DJ would be coming to ask some question and to follow up on the campaign promise. Because I was in the trench, you know. I was in the trench ensuring a change of government so that we can get these things done. And it appears as though that some people in this new Labour administration, their mouth is in the trough now. They are benefiting. So whatever was wrong under the previous administration seems to have come right. Full circle. Cannot happen with this DJ at the helm. We need to see those changes in the electoral system. Now, I know that when I come here on a Wednesday night, is not everybody going to appreciate everything that I say. People have their own opinion. But I must say to you, my good people, when the DJ come here on a Wednesday night, I don't take pleasure in criticizing Prime Minister Joe or this new Labour administration. God knows that it pains me sometimes to highlight certain things. But if I don't be honest with you, the people, and call a spade, come the next go around for electoral campaign, are you guys gonna want to hear from the DJ? I don't think so. You know, and we got to be honest with ourselves and stop lying to the people. I call it a lie because it's very simple. we realize that for some people, there's an alternate truth to what they're saying. They're lying. They know that they're lying. They know they're misleading the country. But they want you to act like it is not so. Dwyer spoke in his commentary a while ago about the Constitution. And to every government that has been in office that I can recall, there's always a conversation at some point in time about amending the Constitution. But for whatever reason, they never take the time out to ensure that that process taking place. If we can recall, there was all 8 seats with Dr. Douglas some years ago. I think that Dr. Douglas had the opportunity when he had the all 8 seat to do whatever it takes to amend the Constitution. But no, it didn't benefit him then to do that. So in my view, he did not do it. Then under the Team Unity administration, according to Premier Brantley, they tried, but the opposition leader at the time, the person in opposition of Dr. Denzel Douglas, it did not benefit him, so he did not support the change. I'm going to play some clips this evening, my good people. And these clips is simple to support the conversation, not to bring down anybody or to try and create any animosity. But I have to call the things as I see them. And before I start playing this clip, my good people, I want you all to understand something about this DJ. If I was doing what I'm doing on a Wednesday night for my benefit, I would have shut down this podcast years ago, months ago, weeks ago, days ago, I shut it down. And for those of you who is enjoying the podcast, I ask you to reach out to the Honorable former Prime Minister Timothy Harris, my good friend, the former hog, for locking me down in quarantine, because if it wasn't for Timothy locking me down in quarantine, this podcast would not be here. And for those of you who hate me coming here on a Wednesday evening, calling a spade, thank him as well, because he's the one that created this. And you, the citizens, have asked me to maintain the status quo. Now, as I reflect, there was a very sad day, sad period for the Labour administration or the Labour Party back in 2022, when they had a change of the executive body, where instead of the usual individuals be identified as the new leader and they go through the process, it turned out that there was an internal war. And the internal war brought out 3 individuals running to become leader of the Labour Party at the time. Those 3 individuals was Dr. Drew, Congress Maynard, and Jeffrey Hanley. Now, I get called left, right, and center to get involved in trying to shape that campaign. And I did not have a clue who Dr. Joe was. I heard about him, didn't have a clue who he was. I was well aware of Congress Maynard, because not only I promote his dad as a Calypsonian, taking him to North America and did somewhat work here in St. Martin, Navy St. Kitts in the region. And I also was familiar with Congress, the Calypsonian, and a good friend. Now, it was easy for me to support Congress because he was the closest to me in terms of someone that I knew. But I did not support someone because I knew that person. I wanted something out of the deal. I listened to you, the people who reach out to me, and I did my assessment. I did my survey. And the survey came back very simple. Nobody wants Dr. Douglas as no prime minister no more. He needs to leave. And the only person that at the time the majority of people told me the only person at the time that they would support would be Dr. Joe. They're willing to vote for Labour, but not under leadership of Dr. Douglas. They will vote for Labour under leadership of Dr. Joe. Well, the DJ had to listen to the general public because the DJ is only one person. And you need numbers to elect a party. So I went out and I did my due diligence and I supported Dr. Joe. I reached out to Dr. Joe. I spoke with Dr. Joe. And I think I have a very good skills at assessing people. And I assessed Dr. Joe and spoke with him. I did a couple of interviews with him on this podcast and let him know my position and the people's position. And at the time, he was the best choice. And I think the majority of you would have agreed that Dr. Joe was the best choice. That decision showed on the 5th of August, 2022, because not only he became the leader, he became prime minister. So I know you guys agree to the situation. But there's still some sour grapes within the Labour Party towards the DJ. I know there's still some sour grapes because there are some people who did not want Dr. Joe. And the fact that I supported Dr. Joe, I am the enemy of the state for some people. Now, whether we want to accept it or not, right after that leadership campaign came the unexpected general elections. And that divide caused a lot of issue in the Labour Party. And I believe that divide is still causing the problem today. I believe that matter is still causing the problem today. But I have a concern because during the 2020 campaign, Premier Brantley, who was a part of the Team Unity administration, and when we said Team Unity, my good people, I want to remind you all that the Team Unity administration was a tri-party setup, The People's Action Movement, PAM, led by Sean K. Richards. The Concerned Citizen Movements. And the Concerned Citizen Movement at the time, I understand, was led by the late Vance Emery. He eventually turned the party over to Premier Brantley. So during that period, the CCM saw two leaders in Vance Emery and Premier Brantley. Now, the third party was the individual with a lone seat that head the PLP, Timothy Harris. With one seat, he was able to become the prime minister in a Team Unity administration, a transactional arrangement. Right? One seat, he became the prime minister. And according to Premier Brantley, he was the best prime minister we ever had. According to Sean Richards, he's going to keep his promise. So with everything that was going wrong in the country, the DJ was trying to reach out to them, to talk to them about try and make some adjustment, but they didn't want to hear from the DJ. But one thing I would always remember is that Mark Brantley, his mission was to put Dr. Douglas in permanent political retirement. And they were successful in winning the election in 2020, just as they had won it in 2015. But we had a gift where there was a breakup in the Team Unity administration, and we had to go back to the polls in less than 2 years. Labour was able to pull off the win. And like everybody in the world, everybody in Nevis, the DJ is also concerned, is that if Premier Brantley campaigned sufficed against the Labour administration or the Labour Party at the time in support of PAM, and the Labour Party was able to pull off the win with 6 seats to 5 in the opposition, the 3 parties end up in the opposition benches. Premier Brantley having his 3 seats in federal parliament decide to take the senator and the leadership of the royal opposition. I always say royal are loyal. But I want you to listen to this clip of Premier Brantley back in 2020.
Parliament to enact it, and consider, if you will, that nobody on the other side was prepared to lend their support to that constitutional amendment. And as a result, it failed. And you know why they couldn't lend their support? Because you had a man done get 20 years and still asking for more. 20 years and still want more. Let me ask you something. If you have not done in 20 years what you were supposed to do, how you coming to do it now? What you have left in the tank after 20 years? If I had 20 years in government, me go home go sit down. A boy up in Navy say me got pool and me like to drink fine wine. Well, me I go home go do that. If you have had 20 years in government, why you tangling up yourself between people, making all kind of noise? I say, give me 5 more, beg you, Lord, give me 5 more. What you want 5 more for? Go home, go sit down. That's what you're supposed to do. Go home, go sit down. Rest yourself. Whether you want to go Dubai or wherever in the world you have your mansions, go home and sit down. Let me speak properly. I don't want Sinkers people to think I'm a rowdy fellow. Go home and sit down. Relax yourself. I want you on the 5th of June, this Friday, to send Denzel Douglas into permanent retirement.
So, my good people, this was Premier Brantley in 2020 at his campaign for the Team Unity Administration in St. Kitts, asking the people of St. Kitts to send Denzel Douglas home, permanent retirement from politics. So my question is, if that was the case, that Premier Brantley was so adamant at sending Denzel Douglas home to retirement, what is so hugging up and kissing up these days? What is going on? It appears as though that Pam is in the wilderness because he was campaigning with Pam as a partner to take the next government. There should have been the new Team Unity administration, but that never happened. But my good people, there's so much to talk about. We're going to talk about the prison project this evening, we're going to get there. But before we get to the prison project, I'm going to talk about this meeting in St. Paul's there on Sunday evening. The Labour Party pre-Labour Day meeting in St. Paul's. And some people might be upset that I'm going to be touching that topic. But if Dwyer, a former parliamentarian in the Labour administration, can get fed up and sick with the shit, well, the DJ that worked so hard to help elect Prime Minister Joe and his new Labour administration and seeing some shit going on, I think I have a right to get upset too and to speak about it. So my good people, comes what may, the DJ going to say what he have to say. Because I will not be doing the country, the people, the Prime Minister, and the Labour administration any good by staying quiet, because it appears as though they're either gone mad, they're seeing spirits, they're seeing things that nobody else could see, or they just believe in lying to themselves. Right? So we're going to have the conversation this evening. I try to hang out in my bunker, like I said, because in my bunker here, between the TV and my phones, they don't fight me. I tell them what I want to hear, and they tell me what I want to hear. Right? No argument, no spliff in my face, no fighting. But I got a good brethren there. We boy Shabby. Got a little bar down the road in St. Paul's called the Bang On Bar. So I decided last Sunday, let me take a hangout down there and support my boy Shabby. Good kid. So I left my bunker around 7:30, went down the road. But when I got there, I realized that there was something happening. Turned out that the Labour Party was having their pre-Labour Day kickoff meetings that they normally do annually. Now, my good people, when I got there, I sit down, have a drink, look on, the meeting was scheduled to start at 8. That meeting kicked off a little after 8 o'clock. And even though I was tired, I said, I'm going to stick around to the end because I really want to hear what these ministers have to say and the people's response. Because I have been hearing for the past 2 years, the people in St. Paul say they're fed up. They turn off. They're not supporting. They're not voting again. I mean, this is the message. This is not DJ Marisha talking, I am just bringing the message. This is what the people is saying. And I have reached out to the Prime Minister about this before, about visiting the community and have a little chat with the people, hear for himself as a leader. Don't let nobody bring the news to you. I think the Prime Minister has been making some serious mistakes because for whatever reason, he accepts what some of these representatives he have representing him bring to him. And they're lying to him. They're misleading him. But for whatever reason, he accepts it. And as I said to the Prime Minister time and time again, you might not like what the DJ is saying, but the DJ is going to tell you what you want to hear. The DJ is going to tell you the facts. And however you take it, it's fine with me. But I am going to give you the facts, and I'm going to go down with the facts. Now, I would think a year ago, they had a similar meeting, similar meeting in the same location. And the crowd, the turnout was very poor, very disappointing. And I had a conversation with a few people. And I said to them, if this turnout does not open up your guys' eyes, that you're losing the support of people, then something is wrong with all you. A lot of them grumble under their breath, acknowledging what I'm saying is true. But nobody seems to want to tell the Prime Minister the things that I would tell him, because the problem continues. We have 2 representatives in this area, number 6. People that I love, but I'll tell them straight to their face, in my view, they're missing in action. This is what the people are saying to me. This is how I see it. They are missing in action. And if they don't want to believe me, let them look at the numbers at the meeting on Sunday night. Because the small crowd that was there last year, this year the crowd was smaller. And many of those stalwarts of labor who out there, advisors, getting their big paycheck monthly because of a change of government, they wasn't there Sunday night. I didn't see them. I listened to Dr. Douglas, and this was a disappointment for me. I listened to the former Prime Minister, Dr. Douglas, and if he's joking around, I don't got time to joke right now when it comes to this politics thing. The old saying is that what is joke to the fowl is death to the cockroach. What is joke to the butcher is dead to the pig or to the cow. I'm not making joke with people's livelihood. Anybody know what a 20 by 20 foot tent is? 20 by 20. Anybody know what that is? And the crowd that was down there could have fit under a 20 by 20 tent. And you got space for more people. You could even put the DJ under the tent with the people. As a matter of fact, a young lady who I know to be a supporter of Labour sat next to me. And she said to me, well, they had more security personnel forces here than the people that come to the meeting, which was a fact. Between the army and the police, you have more of them than the people that came to hear the meeting. It was embarrassing. It was disappointing. But as I sat there and listened to Dr. Douglas took to the podium, he started off by saying how big the crowd is. When he looked as far as his hand, he could see people all the way up to the bridge. Well, Dr. Douglas, I guess you could see spirits. Maybe you've seen all them dead people that dead in St. Paul's over the years walking in the road. Because from where I was sitting, further than you, by the Bangan bar, I could look straight at the stage, and not even in front of the stage you could have fooled the front there. Small crowd. It was very disappointing. But what even got to me more, I know Douglas style. I know he chat shit. Who want to get upset is fine with me. He chat a lot of shit that is not so when it comes to a public meeting. One time he said to me that when I hold a mic, I don't care what I say. And I tell him all the time, when you hold a mic, you don't care what you say. We're 2 away from St. Paul's. The 2 we could go at it ding dong. Because I will always love and respect you, but I'm going to tell you straight how we go. And I want you all as politicians, doesn't matter which party you support, stop bullshitting the people of the Federation. This is time to come straight. When the DJ wasn't around to see these things, I wasn't paying attention to it, but I am on the ground. The disappointment for me that evening is when the Prime Minister took to the podium following Dr. Douglas. I expect him to make his speech and move on. And come Monday when they go to cabinet, is to let the representative of this area have it. Find out from them why is it they could not pull 50 people at a meeting in St. Paul's, where you could normally pull 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000. That is what I expected from Prime Minister Joe. Not to go up to the podium and echo the bullshit that Dr. Douglas spoke about big crowd and making remarks, let Wally Wilkin and the ragtime paper talk about small crowd. The crowd was small, very small. I'm disappointed. So I am saying to you, Prime Minister Joe, this evening, this is your partner, DJ Marisha talking. And like I said to you, whenever the opportunity is here to speak to you in private, I don't have to come here and say it publicly, you know. The things I say here on a Wednesday night is because you are not available to say them to you privately. And they need to be said. Because if you guys are walking around with your eyes wide open shut, the DJ is not, and the people of this country is not. You all see what happened in Trinidad Monday. By the way, I want to congratulate me Trinidad Passy there. Brother Daniel Chanel over there in Tobago. I do not know if my partner Victor Beard is happy with the change of government, but I'm pretty sure Gloria Beard and Melissa Beard and Roger Wallace and my missionary there, Deborah Wallace, appreciate the change. Sister Beverly Marish, I believe she appreciate the change. So congratulations to you people for your win in Trinidad and Tobago. But Mr. Prime Minister, if we don't address the matters at hand now, we're looking for a wipeout like that in the next coming election, you know? Because you need numbers. We need numbers to win election. DJ Marisha is not the issue. As I said before, Philip Martinez is not the issue, you know? You are making the issue and the matter need to be addressed. But we're going to deal with that later on. I'm dealing with the Labour Party now. We got a lot of people within the Labour Party. Up to today, I walk up 4th Street. I see them huddle in areas grumbling. complaining about situation within the party. I do not know what's going on within the party, why they are not able to speak and resolve this problem. But it's imploding from within. It's not the people on the outside that are going to cause a problem for this administration. It's your membership within. And if this matter is not fixed soon and very soon, we're going to have a serious fight in the next election campaign. Because this DJ, you know, this DJ, Mr. Prime Minister, this DJ not going to take no pay to spread no propaganda and to spin for no politician or no political party. When the time is ripe, this DJ will come here and give an assessment of the previous parties, the previous candidates, and the present candidate. And right now, Mr. Prime Minister, let me go straight to it. I am not happy with Jeffrey Hanley at all, you know. I am not happy with your Deputy Prime Minister at all. And I would really hope, Mr. Prime Minister, I would really hope that there is a turn someplace coming from Jeffrey. Because if there's not a turn someplace, I cannot honestly support Jeffrey Hanley in the upcoming campaign, you know. Let me drop this right in here right now. One time, I would understand where I'm coming from. Because I'm not a jester, you know. If you want to know what that means, ask the VI people. Them VI passive will know what I'm talking about. I am not gesturing. I am serious. When I come to campaign in the next go around, I'm going to campaign on facts. If I come here and say to the people, I am asking you to give the Labour administration a second chance. I am asking you to give Dr. Joe another chance. I'm asking you to give Jeffrey another chance. It's because I feel within myself that I have seen the need for it. Not because you're Labour. This party politics business, not working. You all have to do your work. Stop bullshitting the people going to parliament and lying and whatever. I have a problem with it. So when you are going to go to the people and lying to the people, nobody has saw you, you know. Nobody has saw you for lying to the people, and we know you're lying. The people know you are lying. Now, one of the things I told you all going to hurt you all, you know. One of the things that you all have not fixed it as yet. One of the things going to hurt this Labour administration in the next go around is the matter of Cance Edwards. This matter of Cance Edwards eat me to the core. I know it eat me to the core is because I have spoken to the Prime Minister about it. And I have not seen any action after speaking to the Prime Minister about it. When Cance Edwards went missing, the Prime Minister wasn't in the country, you know. The Deputy Prime Minister was the acting Prime Minister at the time. Cance Edwards went missing on the 1st of August 2024. That's 273 days ago. The 1st of August 2024. Do your math. If I'm wrong, correct me. 273 days ago. I learned of the situation through social media. When I found out of the situation, I went up to Sadler's to assist with the search. My good people, I was not satisfied with what I saw. And when I asked questions about the forces, the fire brigade, the army, the police, the other agencies of the government, why we don't have more people there? Because I count about 15 people on the 2 days I went. I was told culture of my navies, the army and the police up there. To make matters worse, Festab in Tabernacle and some other event in St. Peter's. some breakfast fete or something they had there. And on the two occasions I went, we was not lucky to find Brother Kans Edwards. Way up in the hills of Saddlers we went, you know. Way up the hills of Saddlers, my good people. And I can recall that Monday when we did not find Cons, the Monday or the Tuesday, whatever day it was. I'm kind of confused at the moment. But I can recall at the briefing, the officer tell us they're not sure if they're coming to search the next day because it was Juve in Tabernacle and they need the officers to deal with the crowd control. What kind of nonsense are you telling me? That a citizen is missing for all them days and Juve is more important than trying to find this man? Take the people from Juve and carry them in the mountain to help search for Cons. We would have found Cons alive. So my good people, that Wednesday, Wednesday morning, I remember reaching out to the Deputy Prime Minister. I called his house, called his cell phone number. I did not get him. I got a voicemail. When I finished taking my shower, I came back and I met a message. And the message stated, I saw a missed call. Who is this and what is about? And I messaged the gentleman, And I told him, it's DJ Marisha, the purpose of my reaching out to him and whatever. The gentleman never responded to my message. This is in the morning before 8 o'clock. All day. Not a response. I run into him. Well, I must say, I called the commissioner as well, Commissioner Sutton. I didn't get him either. However, he reached out to me the following day. Let me know he was at a funeral with his brother, which I understand. But the following day, I run into the acting Prime Minister, Jeffrey Handley, up Newtown, in the back of a black vehicle, hiding like a little cat. And I pull up, and I told him, you see how God does deal with all you? I reached out to you yesterday. Up to now, I'm waiting for a return call. Haven't heard from you. Mr. Marisha, what is the issue? I said, I called you about Cons Edwards and this lying parliamentarian. And I'm going to call him a lie because I hear him tell too much lie, and I don't believe him. Gonna tell me that he just came back in the country the day before. That's when he found out Cons went missing. Well, you're going to tell me that these politicians, they leave the country for a whole week and they don't communicate with their colleagues. And something as important as somebody gone missing, they don't report to their colleagues that somebody gone missing. Anyway, I explained to him why I was trying to get him. I wanted to get some assistance, some support to do a final search because it appears as though that the search party has given up. It's been a week since Cons went missing and everybody seems to have given up. I wasn't prepared to give up as yet. Give me that opportunity to do a final search. Jeffrey told me he gonna call me, This was last year, August. So it would have been somewhere around the 7th of August. 7th, 8th of August. 8th of August to be exact. I'm still sitting here tonight and get a call from Jeffrey yet. Now, Cons was found on the 9th of August, Friday morning. If I'm wrong, correct me. But that's 265 days ago. We found Cons dead in the hills in Sadler's Mountain. Way up in Sadler's Mountain, dead. His funeral was 253 days ago. 253 days ago. I was a pallbearer. I was asked to be a pallbearer by the family. I was asked to do a tribute. I didn't realize that Dr. Douglas and the Deputy Prime Minister was sitting behind me until I went up to do my tribute. And my good people, when I started my tribute, I wanted to open up in his backside. But guess what? Common sense prevailed, and I said, it's not the place for it, DJ. There'll be a time and place for that. So I simmer down. I simmer down. But you know what even hurt me more? When we get to the cemetery there at Springfield, everybody put in their wreath on the grave. And here comes the Deputy Prime Minister with his big wreath, putting on the head of cancer. It was tomb, And when he finished putting it down, I signaled to him again. I said, I need to speak with you. He told me, I know. He know. But here we are tonight, sitting here on the 30th of April. I still haven't heard from him. They have no respect for us. They have no love for the people. And maybe very well that wheat he put on that grave was paid for by his constituency allowance, not from his pocket. They're not going to respect for us and a love for us. They're going to treat them the same way. People have a problem when you treat them the way they treat you, they get upset with you. But that's okay. Because guess what? I tell all you already, when all you talk and they take away all your work, when all you talk and they decide to do things to all you, are you going to have the opportunity to do it to them soon, You all will have the opportunity to return the favor soon. And I will be here to remind you all. I will be here to remind you all. It's been more than 33 weeks since letters was wrote to the Ministry of Health to outline these situations. I had actually submitted for permission to do an awareness march. But based on conversation and assurance that things are in place, I pulled back on that march. Well, my good people, I'm still waiting to see those regulations. I haven't seen them as yet. And everybody walking around like everything is okay. Everything is not okay. We're hearing the complaint on a daily basis about the dilapidated healthcare system. I said it before and I will say it again. The Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Joe, and his new Labour administration, they inherit a bad healthcare system. Ain't no question about that. They inherited a bad system, dilapidated system. And I know that Prime Minister Joe is doing the best that he can with what he have. Nobody can tell me different. I have met with him. I've spoken with him. But there are some actors out there that is misleading the Prime Minister. Whether they want to like it or not, is not a problem to me. Too many mistakes is being made, and people are allowed to make these mistakes over and over and over again. The Prime Minister should not be embarrassed like this week after week after week. That should not happen. And I would say to the Prime Minister tonight, you are going through this. It's self-inflicted because you have the authority to make changes. You might not have the luxury to fire nobody in cabinet like Simmons had when he fired his deputy. But I think you can reshuffle. You can reshuffle. And these advisors, whoever advising you, if you're listening to them, it's time to stop listening to them, Mr. Prime Minister. Go back to basics. Back to basics. Because if you don't go back to basics, you're going to be a very cold election season ahead, Mr. Prime Minister. There's a lot I have to say tonight, And I know I cannot do it in 2 hours, and I'm not going over time. But I will be coming weekly, punching bit by bit. This is the end of April. But we're going to start off May on the same page. We're going to start off May on the same page. Because you guys know what's happening in our beloved Federation. You guys know what's taking place down there at the Ramada in Hilden. You guys know how many years now they've been trying to get that place finished up. And the turnover there, what's taking place. You guys know what's taking place at Kitishan Hill. Well, I listened to Dr. Douglas making another announcement on Sunday evening. And again, it is misleading. So let's take a listen to Dr. Douglas' presentation on Sunday evening.
The Wisconsin that is to come on the Southeast Peninsula. But here in this very constituency, we created not only the Ramada and Kitishan Hill, but tonight I make announcement that the Taj Hotel, the Taj Exotica Hotel out of Asia will come right here in this constituency. Hundreds and thousands of jobs for our people. Will improve every single community in this area. We'll have the highest third type of tourist, I would say, that would be visiting our country. High-end tourism. I want to make it absolutely clear that St. Kitts and Nevis is not done.
So my good people, Dr. Douglas wants us to believe that a country of 68 square miles supposedly have some 52,000 residents or citizens between St. Kitts and Nevis and another 60 plus thousand CBI citizens, that within our little area here, the Whitegate project, that he's bringing some hotel, the Taj as you would say, that's going to bring hundreds of thousands of jobs. Where are these people going to be living? You're going to build a new island out off of Statia? Where are these hundreds of thousands of people going to be living? Who are they going to be working for? What are they going to be doing? Pong stone? These are the things that I have a problem with. I don't have an issue with politicians campaigning and presenting their argument to try and get support from its citizens. But you fooled me once. You fooled me twice. You come back, you're going to fool me a third time. Well, I must be a jackass. So I have an issue with these things where I am here marking it, and I'm hearing the people up today still listening to this nonsense and believing that these things are coming to fruition. I really have a serious problem with our people not calling out their political party. If you guys expect to get the support and respect of the citizens, just be honest with them. Don't sell them a pipe dream. This ain't the days when them old people did not know better. Everything today is a smartphone. There was a time when you send a letter to the US or to the UK, it take 4 weeks to get there, 4 weeks to come back. Today, it's just a press. You press a button and it's gone and it's back. My sister sent me some stuff more than 8 weeks ago. My shaving blade from the UK is still waiting for them 8 weeks ago. We hear the complaint about what's taking place in the post office. When you check with the destination where these things are shipped from, they're telling you these things is in the country a week after they ship them. But 4 weeks later, 6 weeks later, 8 weeks later, you still cannot get your material. Even that this stuff came to the country, who you going to talk to? You guys heard me spoke last week about the water situation. My boy Canvas dropped some shots Sunday night about people on social media talking about the water and thing. I do not know if it's Mr. Canvas talking about. But if it's me, it's okay. Because yes, you all promise us that in 2022, your water shouldn't be shutting off. You should have water around the clock. We're in 25. Right now my water shut off. I can't go and take a shower when I finish this podcast. I have to just relax, cool out until in the morning, 5 o'clock, get up and catch the water. This is not fair. While you all have tanks after tanks put up around all your building them, all your water is safe. That is not right to our beloved people.
The Director of Public Prosecution's Office advises that Lennox Nathaniel Greaves of Molyneux St. Kitts has been formally charged with causing death by careless driving, contrary to Section 50, subsection 4 of the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act, in relation to the fatal accident which led to the death of Dr. Simoneth Williams. This tragic incident occurred on the night of December 20th, 2024, along the St. Peter's Main Road in the vicinity of New Road. This decision follows a careful and comprehensive review of all the available evidence, including a report prepared by a professional road accident investigator. The investigation has revealed that the accused, driving an SUV licensed P9071, was traveling in the direction of Bastia when the vehicle collided with Dr. Williams, who was a pedestrian at the time. The evidence does not support the existence of foul play nor deliberate intent on the part of the driver in relation to the cause of Dr. Williams' death.
Now, as you guys heard, there's someone charged with Dr. Williams' death that occurred last year. Now, Khan's situation is over a year ago. We ain't hearing nothing about Brother Khan's Edwards. The Khan says nobody. I'm not going to touch that matter, you know. I'm not going to even comment on that matter. I'm going to leave that one for Patches. That one belongs to Patches. I'm going to stick with my Brother Khan's. But this other clip, I'm going to touch this one.
Development. Can you imagine that we are developing geothermal in Nevis at this point in time? That will benefit both St. Kitts and Nevis. When I went out, I said not because the geothermal is on Nevis, all of us can benefit. Because Nevis is our sister island. We have to accept that. And I negotiated to raise the money necessary to make sure geothermal can take place. And on the 5th of next month, the bids are going to open and a contractor will be selected for us to start drilling for geothermal in Nevis to benefit both St. Kitts and Nevis.
My good people, I played a clip simply because, again, the Prime Minister reported at his meeting on Sunday this matter with the geothermal. I have no issue with helping Nevis getting whatever it can get, whether it's benefit St. Kitts or not. The people of Nevis is part of this federation and have a right to benefit from whatever resources we have. My issue with this situation, Mr. Prime Minister, I asked you a question some months ago on this podcast, you know. I asked you about the hospital wing in Nevis. You as Minister of Health in the federal parliament, your response was you want a way of what's taking place with that hospital wing. It's been 2.5, going on 3 years since the Labour administration is in place. I understand some 8 million, it was the original quote to build that hospital wing. I understand it's some 17 million eventually was produced to start that wing, which was scheduled to start in 2017, complete in 2019, 24 months. Well, in 2022, we saw a very nice painted out exterior of that wing. And the campaign was, the hospital is going to be open soon, the wing going to be ready soon. We are now in 2025, you know. And the hospital is now much further to finish than it was in 2022. So the pipe dream and what it takes to get geothermal going and Nevis, the health of the people of Nevis is not important. To find out from Premier Brantley what's going on with that hospital wing, what help he need to get it finished, what expertise he need to try and get it completed. We're going to just leave it like that, Mr. Prime Minister. And you're going to continue to play a blind eye like that hospital wing does not exist. These are issues that are going to affect decision makers going into the next election, you know, Mr. Prime Minister. I am asking you, Mr. Prime Minister, to come to the people, you know. Don't wait until election season and come try give us no long story. They're not going to work. We want to know why you have not spoken to the Premier of Nevis to find out the status of that hospital wing, why it is where it is and why it's not completed. We have enough talented people around this federation. I got some contacts on the outside that could come and assist in that regard. You know, I myself can assist in that regard, Mr. Prime Minister. So I don't understand why we are playing blind to the fact that that hospital wing is where it is and it's incomplete. I will continue to take my hits and my costs from the supporters of the party in power because I am highlighting these things. As I said earlier, I'm not highlighting these things to bring down a government. I am highlighting these things so that they can be addressed and don't become a conversation in the upcoming election because it's not going to look good. It's not going to go down well. Deal with them now. Let's address the matter head on. Turning a blind eye, acting like it's not there, is not going to help the problem. It's not going to fix the problem, Mr. Prime Minister. Now, I have been getting several calls about the status of the prison project. I don't understand why people reaching out to me, basically harassing me about the status of the prison project, because I am just one person in our beloved federation. We got all kind of NGO organization out there, millionaires, billionaires, people within the community, police officers, advisors. We got an NSA to the Prime Minister. Why these people are not coming to you and telling you the status of the prison? But I took it upon myself because certain individuals asked me to look into it, and I had to look into it. So if any of you who would have gone on my Facebook page on Friday, I would have put out a little article with some updated pictures. My good people, it's really something, it's too serious to laugh about. Understand? It is not laughable. I do not know what arrangement was made by the previous administration. I recall Prime Minister Harris, and I'm waiting for Harris to come talk with me now. I would like to have a conversation here with former Prime Minister Harris, Sean Richards, and Premier Brantley. They can come together, they could come individually. I really would like to have a conversation with them. Because when I look at the work that has been done up at that prison farm, let's call it the rehabilitation center, it's not even an igloo that you're putting together that makes sense. My little baby girl put some igloo boxes together while I was in New York a couple of weeks ago, and she did a better job. Right? I count 9. I call them Chinese. You call them anything, but they're not Kittian, Filipinos, whatever. 9 of them. I stand up and I count them come and went to work. 9. Why is 9 foreigners in our beloved federation building a prison? 9. When you got contractors out there not working, citizens in our beloved federation not working, why we only have 9? You know, I got a document here. I don't have the time to read the whole document tonight, but from what I understand, this is a document that was used by the former administration for this project. And it is St. Christopher Nevis Statutory Rules and Order number 7 of 2022. St. Christopher Nevis Citizenship by Investment Amendment Regulation 2022. This was something under the Team Unity administration when they decided to do that prison project. And it reads, in exercise of the power conferred by Section 15 of St. Christopher Nevis Act, Cap 1.05, the minister makes the following regulation, published 19th May 2022, official Gazette number 26 of 2022. Citation 1, regulation may be cited as St. Christopher Nevis Citizenship by Investment Amendment Regulation 2022. And it goes on to a whole bunch of stuff. But I was pointed specifically to 5D, the requirements for alternative investment option for public good project developer. And in this regard, 1, with effect from December 1, 2021, where a person invests a minimum of US $175,000, including a fixed government fee of $50,000 for a family of 4 in an approved public good infrastructure project or other approved public good development project, an applicant may be submitted on his or her behalf through an authorized person. Well, we all know who those authorized persons are. There are a bunch of young millionaires out there in St. Kitts and Nevis. And then we go down further. A, an investor shall prove that the project is fully funded upfront. I don't know how they're going to do that if it's fully funded upfront when they're depending on our passport sale to find the money. Then it goes down to G. An approved public good project developer shall maximize local employment and shall embark upon programs including transfer of technology and local capacity building. Now, this is the part that gets me. According to this agreement, an approved public good project developer shall maximize local employment and shall embark upon programs including transfer of technology and local capacity building. Now, if I'm seeing 9 Chinese or 9 foreigners on that project, every time I go and I check, it's between 9 and 12 foreigners. Are these people citizens? Because if not, they're violating this matter here. And I was told that this document I just read was repealed by the incoming Labor administration led by Dr. Joe. So if this arrangement was repealed, what arrangement is this prison being built under? I asked during my last podcast that the Prime Minister released the documents, the contract for that prison project, because I don't think it's fair that there are so many unemployed citizens in our beloved federation, skilled, unemployed citizens in our beloved federation, can't get no work to do. And you got 9 or 12 Chinese up there building a prison. And I cannot elaborate much on what's taking place there, but you all can go on my Facebook page, you all can see the buildings. And the bad thing about those buildings, the grassy area that you all may see, a lot of grass, those are the buildings that started under the former Team Unity administration. They seems to be abandoned. Those contractors apparently did not get the opportunity to continue under this new Labor administration. So the structures that are up in the air, climbing, those are the new buildings that started under this Labor administration. So when they're telling you all that the prison project stopped, the prison project ain't stopped. It's going in full swing. The question is these things legal? Are they lawfully constructed? Because I had a conversation with one of the architects. Keep in mind, if you follow my Facebook page, you would realize that I put a little article there that the architect that won the bid to design this complex confirmed that they never submitted their paperwork to get the building permit for that structure to be built. So if the architect did not submit the paperwork to get the final approval for that building or that complex to be built, how did it start? By having conversation with 1 or 2 individuals, they tried to explain to me that it's possible that somebody else may have submitted the documents for approval and they were approved. But how could somebody else submit the designs of an architect without their knowledge and they get approved? But it didn't stop there. The conversation went deeper. I tried making some phone calls this week, but was not successful. Because it's also said to me that apparently the chairman of the board for the building department under the Team Unity administration may have been the contractor that was assigned by the government to oversee the construction of that building. So let's just take the information that I'm getting in stride. If, for whatever reason, the person that designed this complex did not give their final approval to get the permits approved for building, how did that happen? Is that possible in our day and age in St. Kitts and Nevis? And if the construction of that complex that started under the former administration, under the guidance of the chairman of the planning board being the supervisor of the construction, who is the supervisor today? Is it still that individual supervising the project, because I don't see nobody up there when I go there. I stand up outside for hours waiting to see movement. All I see is Chinese. Maybe one or two dogs walking around. The security is a black person, but naturally security is not even local. So I would like to know, the citizens would like to know, really what's going on that project? Is it a lawful project? Were the plans approved? Who is representing the government? Who's representing the country? Who's representing the citizen on that project? Because the structures that I am seeing there, they don't look safe to me. You know? I would love to see a copy of those plans and compare them to the structures I'm seeing there, because it just does not add up. It looks very unsafe to me. And at the end of the day, I would hope that this prison project that Timothy Harris claimed was the best thing ever since sliced bread does not come back to haunt us in our beloved federation, you know. Somebody said last week, don't stop the project. Let it continue, because we're going to have to put a couple of these politicians in there. Well, I don't think the place is adequate for our politicians, you know, based on what I see. I wouldn't lock up a dog inside those places I see there. So, my good people, I am asking you all to stay awake. Start showing interest in what's taking place in this beloved federation, because if we don't, we're going to wake up one day and realize we don't have no say in this country. You know? It's going to be overrun by these people. You cannot sit back and allow government after government to do these things without responding and be respectful to the citizens. You cannot have 11 individuals or 6 individuals destroy the fabric of this country and you sit back because you're getting a couple of dollars, because your family is sitting pretty. It's a recycle. No matter what government change, if you follow the train, it goes back. You all see what happened this week? I see them open, they say a cannabis office. Then your medicine cannabis office. You all know where they opened that? You all know where Kane's Rental used to be? That building, that is where the office is. With all these rent that the government is paying out to these people for these offices, where all them building, the government got closed down, I said before. The government don't intend to fix these buildings and stop paying out this heavy rent. The government, I suggested as well before, there are contractors out there need work. Let them adapt a building. Let them fix the buildings. You pay the rent to the contractor until the money is paid up, and then you take back your building. Start a program. Mr. Prime Minister, I do not know who's talking to you or who you just talk to. The DJ is available. I don't have a problem giving you 15, 20 minutes of my time each week to just sit down, discuss the things that is going on, the talk on the street, and make you understand that no matter what you all say in cabinet on a Monday, is not in sync with what the street is saying. The street is talking. You all need the street if you all plan to win a second term, you know. The street is talking. And if you don't pay attention to the street, Mr. Prime Minister, a second term going to be very hard. I'm going to say this now. And who don't like it, tough. If election call tomorrow, you know, is a coalition government, are you looking at, you know? I don't know who will be prime minister. But with what I am hearing on the street now, if election call in 21 days, is a coalition government you are looking at. I hear the Labour supporters, the diehard Labour supporters say, they're not voting ever again. Marisha, don't come to me door, don't call me. You already convinced me. You ain't gonna do it again. In 2022, there are people that was running from airport to airport more than 24 hours, missing plane, jumping and plane. This DJ went into his pocket. Well, not even my pocket because I send the money Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal to people to take taxi to get food. That they would not go home. That they could make it to St. Kitts to change a government. There are people that I know in St. Kitts that stand on the lines without a bottle of water coming to them from 6 in the morning till 10 at night to vote to put you all into office. Sam Kanda, his wife, Dwyer Astafan, myself, run around picking up stuff, giving stuff here, giving stuff there. Sam come to me, Marisha, man, you're here all day. Here, eat something. We work hard to ensure that you all get into office. And now you all put people in these positions that they're not qualified for, they're not capable of doing. And these are the same people who want to come tell us we must not talk. We must not have an opinion. We must not tell you when you all going wrong. But yet, when you all wanted to get in there, you all was on the phone in our face. I was down at the electoral office. I met a young man down there by the name. I'm not going to call the name. I'm going to call my partner name. But I saw him down there on the operation for the team unity administration. I saw what they were doing. Money was passing. We talk about the fake marriages. We talk about the elections, the registration that was illegal. You're going to tell me that after 2.5 years, right there, number 2, right there, number 1, where we had those Latinos came in and make a big difference, right there, Nevis, where we had people come in, I took my eyes. The night before the election, I stayed at Wally Beach. When I go over there, the place was blue. The CCM operative was outfitted in their shirts, in their polo shirt, picking up the people in from the boat. They was not local. They made a big difference in Nevis election. And you're going to tell me up till today, going into 3 years, there is no effort to revamp the electoral system. And the DJ must sit back. Don't say nothing because Labour in power. It can't happen. This DJ does not have a problem being the sacrifice lamb if that's what it takes to make a change in our beloved federation. Let me repeat myself. This DJ does not have a problem being the sacrifice lamb to ensure that there's a change in this federation when it comes to our electoral system. Because as Dwyer said in his commentary, he says some 41 years or whatever, that the boundary have not changed. But I think Dwyer might have something wrong. I think that under the Denzel Douglas administration, there was some effort to change the boundary, but it was too close to the election. And that matter reached as far as the Privy Council. And those boundary changes have never been used. I don't know if they still can be used or whatever the case might be. The bottom line is, Mr. Prime Minister, is that we have a nation to build and a country to mold. Your good partner, DJ Marisha, is not the problem. You have some people around you that is misleading you, that is lying to you, Is either they do not know what they're doing, they don't care, or they're undermining you. I am of the view, Mr. Prime Minister, after that meeting on Sunday, that if you guys that was on that stage did not have a serious heart-to-heart about the decline in your support in this area number 6, then you all got a serious problem on your hand, Mr. Prime Minister. And guess what? I know there's a vicious circle out there, but DJ Marisha will be okay.
What is the reason for you to fear the iniquities of wicked men nowadays, when you are aware that all that is in their minds is to upraise strife and confusion? But the same does fall on their children, down to the 3rd and 4th generation. Corruption, I say, it could work, but it just can't pay. For most people who are living sky high today got rich in dishonest ways, and living with day from day to day, I can say that if they could hold the key to destruction and upturn this place to confusion, they would strive to do all they can do. So this message I bring to you, especially for them wicked people, and it's not lies, so listen to my cry. If a man spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in the eye. Some men would even use their position to seduce young women of this nation. Say this and coming out of school, applying to get employment, and to be successful, they must be present for interviews at their residence at 8 p.m. instant, or somewhere they never went. I call it a bed and back situation, breeding corruption over the land. But they'll cease from their wicked plan when they understand that the one who holds the key to destruction, someday he'll turn their life to confusion. They continue to seduce my people. For when he see they're getting too far, he would take away the power before they die. So they'll know it's not lie, that when they spit up to the sky, it must fall straight back in their eye.
Every time.
Broadcasting and rumors going around, information about wolves in sheep clothing, keeping us down. Just like Jim Jones, the minister over in Guyana, using God's name to make a cover for the land he want to take over. He didn't mind to kill a multitude at one time, after making them sign him as beneficiary of their social security. But not he didn't live to spree his decree, for he do not hold the key to destruction to stop them from shooting him down, or he'd openly let it be me. But the one above has the plan to make all them decisions, and if I lie, oh, he wouldn't have to die when he spit up to the sky and it fall straight back in his eye. I do not intrude on no specific man, for when I sing my song, I just sing it from true inspiration. Whatever I do does surely affect me too, for whatever deed that I do, it becomes a vicious circle. Vanity never makes happiness for you. So you should never spoil your future days for vanity, which does not pay. For happiness can only be when your mind is free. And you know who holds the key to destruction can make this a happy nation if we strive to do what we should do. That's why this message I bring to you would help us to struggle through, let it reach you high. So even if I die, here I spit a blessing up to the sky, let it fall straight back in your eye.
Yes, man, you spit that blessing up to the sky that it dropped back in your. And speaking of blessing, I would like to bless someone with a lunch there at Elfrida's, you know. But it's very simple. When you go to Elfrida's, you just ask for Lida, any one of the servers there, just ask them to give you the opportunity to guess what the DJ had for lunch the last time he was there. And I understand I have a good friend when they almost get it right some time ago, you know. My partner, ACP, but I married it. Sorry that I missed you, my brother. But since you want to pull something on me and get it so easy, I'm going to add something to it, you know. You got to tell me what I drink as well. So just go across to Elfrida's. Anyone can go there and said, listen, I'm here to guess what DJ Marisha had for lunch the last time he was here and what he drank. And once you get the right answer, they will pick up the phone, they will call me, I will cover that bill. So that is my blessing I want to give to someone. Just go and check out my boys there and my ladies there at Elfrida's. I also want to big up my boy, their brother Jeff Freights there and the crew over there in the Molyneux area, the Freights Bakery there in the Bowery area. I want to big up my boy Romeo Paris. Hope all is well with you. My brother there, brother Eustace Warner. Warner's One Stop. Hope you're doing well, my brother. I got to come and check you as well. My cousin dear sister Gloria Hutchinson at the Smart Fit. Hope you're doing well, my sister. And my boy Jenkins, brother Peter Jenkins there, Jenkins Funeral Home. You guys know that Jenkins never refuse you. Just pick up the phone and call Jenkins. My boy, their brother Peter Sadler at Sadler Funeral Home as well. Those guys don't refuse. So you die to get to them, they will make sure that you're okay. Since you want to take it that serious. I got to drop another track here just before I play my closing anthem and get out of here. So let me just drop this track. This one is called
Power rules the world today. Power corrupts, they say. And absolute power corrupts you lewdly. It can change a man who has a heart of gold, make him cruel, wicked, self-centered and cold. Many men in this land, many organizations fought for freedom and justice throughout the land. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. Prostituting the island to all and sundry, they peddling my people's right. Exploiting, oppressing, less freedom, more suffering. I wonder how we survive. Think it over, my friend. Think it over again. Think it over, don't vex with me, shorty. Think it over, I'm singing as I see. Food we can't even buy, murder the price too high. Malnutrition killing the children while we the adults starving. Yet the price is rising without control. Young man begging bread by the side of the road. And the Chamber of Commerce in this land, I tell you, they don't give one damn. The more we try to economize, the more cost of living rise. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about nobody. They prostitute in the island, milking the land dry. They're making my people starve, exploiting, oppressing, less freedom, more suffering. This thing just can't go on. Think it over, my friend. Think it over, carefully again. Think it over, don't vex with me, shorty. Think it over, I'm singing as I see. Work we can't even find. Life seems a waste of time. Nothing to do but sit around the corner line. Though frustrated, some would rather starve than beg. Others turn to crime and steal what they can get. And the judges have no sympathy, they're hammering everyone that they catch. Even little children are jailed without regret. When they have power and authority, they don't give a damn about you or me. And what they do, lock me up when they catch me, smoking little tampy while the social rich are freed. Exploiting, oppressing, less freedom, more suffering. A poor man's life is really hard indeed. Think it over, my friend. Think it over, carefully again. Do it again. Think it over, don't vex with me, shorty.
Yes, man, don't mess with Shorty. I want to say good evening to my granddaughter. They are celebrating birthday today. Hope all is well. Hope you all are doing good on that side of the globe. Also want to touch my mascot, dear Sister Dorothy Allen. How are you doing? Sister Cora Bennett, Sister Nelta Robinson. How about my boy there, Brother Aston Williams, Sister Laura Williams? I understand you have a death in your family there. Condolences to you and the entire family. Also want to touch my boy there, Brother Oliver Spencer's family, folks there at Spratnet. Hope all is well with you folks. I understand we laid dad to rest there on Monday. Hope all is well with you. So the man Cassie Hart in town, so it was good seeing my brother there, Cassie Hart. Also want to touch my son there, Brother Jeff Roy Jr. there in the LA area. How is Sister Jazz? Hope all is well. My sister Esther there in Tortola. Van Mokish and the rest of the kids there. Gotta big up my nephew there, Brother Jordan, who will be graduating shortly. Look forward to seeing you. My brother Carl Morris there in St. Thomas. What Sister Valencia, Sister Patsy, how you doing? The man Avon Brown, my cousin there, Kent Bunny in St. Thomas. Sister Pam, the man Brother Benta, hope all is well with you. My girl Hazel, you know I'm gonna drop this track and you like to bounce that little thing you got back there. I want you to calm down and just listen to the lyrics, huh? Sister Nelta, how you doing? Hope all is well. Sister Lynn, just want to drop this one coming from the late great King Arrow, the unofficial anthem of the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. This one is called Arise.
Your country dying and never lend a helping hand. Would you see your children's future dwindling, creating much disillusion? Or would we watch on idly, disregarding our self-sufficiency? Reintegrate and correct all this. unification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. Rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours. Can your conscience be clear? Indulging corruption or misusing public office, being accused of unemployment and crimes, or disrupting a citizen's peace. Oh, my country in this harmony, separated politically. Hatred for a brother, cannot love each other. No, I say no, potato. Citizens, let's unite and stand up for rights, all our lives and our lives. Let us reintegrate and correct all mistakes. Reunification, building a brand new nation. We move on together hand in hand. So rise, citizens, arise. The country is yours, all yours, still yours.
Yes, my good people, the country is yours, all yours. I want to say good night to my boy there, brother Mello Jeffers. How you doing? Hope all is well with you wherever you are. My boy there, brother Eustace Hendrickson. My uncle Eustace Jensen Croy, how you doing? Hope all is well. I want to thank my engineer there, man, brother Ike, for keeping this podcast alive for the past 5 years. Thanks for your commitment, my brother. Thanks to the people of TNT for allowing you the time to hang out with me. My nephew there, brother Glenville Lawrence, for getting the clips going and everything like that. Thank you, my brother.